Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my budget planner setup for the month of February, and I'm using a kit from Truce Paperie on Etsy. I have been loving these stickers, and I especially love that the entire month matches and it all has the same pattern and colors. I am always drawn to florals, so I have been really loving every monthly kit that comes out in this shop. I am going to be starting with the monthly overview. This page is where I will be keeping track of all of my expenses throughout the month, so all I really need is the top banners and the rest will be filled in as the month goes on. I also really appreciate that there are little strips of stickers to cover up this pattern that doesn't really match the kit, so it makes everything cohesive and look really beautiful. This is the first page of February, and I like to keep my February budget on this page. I like that it has a tab on the page so I can easily flip to it whenever I need to. I am hoping to one day figure out how to finally make script stickers, but I think that's pretty far in the future because I have so much else to do. But it really doesn't bother me to use my handwriting. I don't really even pay attention to it throughout the month. At the top of the page, I will be writing all of our income information. I am using a sticker as a divider, and then I will be writing our variable expenses and then our fixed expenses. I like to separate them from variable and fixed just so that I have plenty of room to write all of our expenses throughout the month. I definitely had a hard time with the spacing this month, so for next month I will try to do better and give my fixed expenses a little bit more room. Moving on to the dashboard. I love that there are stickers in here to cover up any kaleidoscope design in the month. This floral arch is my favorite. I am putting this February script from the kit in the yearly overview, where I like to track how much was spent in the different categories that I'm tracking every month. In the top right box, I am using the February goals script to cover up the font on the page to make it a little more cohesive. For the box on the left, I am using this month script, and I like to write any big things happening during the month that have to do with money. So I'll be writing birthdays so we can prepare for gifts, and there are a couple of holidays in this month. On the notes page on the left, I like to write all of my calculations, and I usually use this twice a month. We don't like to keep our checking account too full. We just want what we need in there and maybe a little bit extra for a cushion. But I like to calculate how much we need for each paycheck so that I can figure out how much to transfer out and how much to leave in there. This box at the bottom is where I like to keep track of all of our debt, and that includes my student loans, our 2 cars, and our 2 houses. My student loans are actually going to be paid off by the end of this year, so that is pretty exciting. And all of that money will probably end up being used towards my car. I also like to keep track of how my credit score is. And now I am just writing out my little key for tracking expenses in the different categories. I completely ignored this hexagon on the first page for my February budget, but I did want these blue hexagons covered, and I think I mentioned in my Plan with My Toddler video that PJ had gotten into my whiteout, and he actually pulled out the tape in the whiteout roll, and he did this while I was at the store and right before I wanted to film. I didn't want to run back to the store to get more whiteout because my husband had to take a work call, so I decided to just cut the strips of whiteout tape and painfully slowly put it on this hexagon. I am just showing this first one to explain, but the next one will actually be skipped through. This first page is for my weekly check-in, and the next page is my spending log. The spending log is really easy to set up. It is just the date, amount, description, and if it was shipped and delivered. I have really been loving this page. It has saved me so much stress in terms of wondering if there are packages that I am waiting for. The weekly check-in is a bit more time consuming, but it's definitely worth it. I divide the month into 4 weeks, and February works out pretty perfectly because week 1 has an extra day and every other week has 7 days. I like to just go from Sunday to Saturday, and the categories that I like to track are groceries, dining out, gas, household, and unbudgeted. I like to fill this page out every Sunday just to see how we're doing. Next to the category, I will write how much was spent for that week, and then I will figure out how much is remaining in the total budget for the month, and then how much is remaining per week. For week 3 and 4, you don't really need a remaining per week space, but I do like to write any notes, especially when we are over budget, because I try to remind myself why we are over budget. These transparent stickers are perfect as a little highlight and divider. I really love using them, especially on this page. For the hexagons on the next page, I actually ended up just cutting some of the sticker paper that was in this kit because it was such a hassle to get the whiteout tape on there little by little, and the hardest part was actually getting the clear paper off of the tape and to make it actually stick. So I was kind of done with that, and I just cut out the sticker paper, and I didn't mind if it was completely covered because I knew that the design would distract me enough from it. I figured 2 layers of the sticker paper would be a good cover. So here is my sinking funds page, and I am writing all of the categories that I am using for sinking funds. At the time that I had filmed this, I actually wasn't completely done closing out January, so I didn't want to transfer any numbers until January was completely closed out, and I want to film a results video showing the sinking funds and also the weekly check-in. I did end up adjusting the numbers a little bit this month, and I will go over all of that in the results video. The next page is my transaction log for the sinking funds, and again, this page is pretty simple to set up. It is the date, amount, category, and description. Now I am going back to the monthly overview, and I realized that I forgot to put the scallop stickers on the days that are not in February. These scallop stickers add such a nice touch to this page. Here are all of my February pages in my budget planner. I have been loving this setup, and I really enjoy keeping up with my budget now. It just makes it so much more fun to have all of this laid out and have these beautiful stickers to keep me interested. Let me know if you have any questions. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.